What?
He's a professional golfer. Just hit the stream.
I did. Shit.
You
Where's the intro?
You didn't put the intro
Oh,
on,
you
fool.
moron.
I do
Absolute-
now. Oops, I fucked up. Right.
Gone like 1 week.
Good evening. Welcome to the Plastic Crack Podcast, Season 4, Episode 39. Thank you very much if you're watching on the replay. We are sponsored by Boards and Swords Hobby.
Thank you very much if you bothered to turn up tonight.
Yeah, you're in for a right fucking treat. Hey. Yes, we are sponsored by Boards and Swords, the home of CrackCon, which we will be going into a little bit more in a bit. So yes, good evening, everybody. It's wonderful to have you here on this Monday night. So let's have a little look. Fucking hell, this chat's going mad already. Does it ever stop? We seem to be experiencing some tech Ken difficulties. Yes, we were, David. Yes.
Yeah.
And Bricker City always shows up for the professionalism. Thank you. I appreciate that.
It might be sarcastic, mate. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he changed his clock 2 hours this week.
No, you. He's talking about you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh fucking hell. End stream. Right.
Oh, God. Do you want to start again, kid?
Yes. Good evening and welcome to the Plastic Crack Podcast, Season 4, Episode 39. Battle that you want to game. I've read that back now. Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah.
That's
it was meant to say battles. Why did that apostrophe disappear? Okay, battles that you want to game and con roundup. So yeah, we'll go around the table about what everyone's been doing this week. So fucking hell, let's start with him. Dom.
Oh, me?
Done. Yeah, what have you done?
No.
We literally said it like 2 minutes ago.
Before we went live.
Oh.
Martin, would you like to take us through some pictures from CrackCon?
I'd be happy to.
I think
as discussed.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Holy smoke!
But how late? I was like 3 minutes to the stream because I was.
No, you weren't. You were 45 seconds.
All right.
Before the show started. Right. So while Ken just
Gets himself together.
composes himself, we of course had CrackCon, not last weekend, but the weekend before, where we descended on a very, very wet derby.
Oh, yes.
It's sunken.
Well, yes. So for those of you
Whose idea was it to call it Crack of Broads? What is it?
Broadside
Crack on the wettest day in Derby ever.
I mean, there were whole parts of it that were underwater, but of course, a big group of people descended on the Friday night, and I know that so a few people braved going to Warlord Games and Battlefront. But to those of you who didn't make it, we thought what we'd do is we'd do a little wrap up of what happened here. I'm sure you saw some of the photos. We'd have a little bit of a chat. We've got a couple of things because of course we had the charity raffle, so we can sort of announce how that went, and just show some pictures from the games and our little roundup of what's going on. So to start with, he couldn't make it to the day because unfortunately he lives in Derby and he was adversely affected, and so were some of his figures. But Tony Hall, who couldn't make it, he put us onto the fact that his brother works in a place called the Old Bell, and they had a thing called the Tudor Bar in there. So we got to descend and take over this for the Friday evening.
Fantastic fun,
And
wasn't
it was very a lovely open fire, tables filled with games and beer, and well, by the end of the night, quite a bit of swearing because no one could win at any games. Or they were doing Miller's Impossible Quiz, which got divided across
What
two
was
tables.
it about? Did we just find games that were impossible?
Well, what I think you're referring to, Dom, is I bought along Forbidden Island.
We played that 4 times. We never got close to winning it.
No,
See that look on my face there? That's what happens when you don't know what you're doing and you drink all the water.
You did drink all the water. I
You
remember
did
that
drink
now.
all the water.
You did. Yes, it is. Everyone else, selfish Steve. Selfish Steve. I remember that now. I've forgotten all about that. That you went off and got the well and drank all the water. So as long as you were fine.
I didn't know. I didn't see the little blue symbol. And I just thought, I'll uncover that. I'll do a bit of excavation. And blow me if it isn't a big well and I'm thirsty.
Blow me, everyone else is now.
And everyone else dies.
But no, this was awesome. But as you can see, around obviously Haley chugging a glass of wine there. And you can just see that little that thing that was behind the bar.
Oh, God.
The marionette or whatever it was.
Oh, she was scary, wasn't she?
That scared the absolute crap out of me. Because when I walked in, I thought it was a real person. I was like, I'm not being served by that. It looks like 180 years old.
Yeah. What the funny thing here is that Haley started getting quite eggy that people were taking because she doesn't like. Well, she's basically she doesn't want to lose. Does anyone? But the more I think it got a little bit fraught at times over there. But as you can see, everyone having a great old time across the tables. This was them playing Miller's Impossible Quiz, which I think did go down correctly. And I'd love to know how much money crossed the bar. But the good news is they want us back. They want us
we
back.
can't have missed we had. must have
So cheers. Thank you to the Tudor Bar.
Thank you. I was upset they didn't have any Baileys.
We weren't.
I drank Jack Daniel's honey.
I remember you trying to convince me that Jack Daniel's was whiskey. You were absolutely it's whiskey.
It's bourbon.
But the thing was heading back as various people left and we were braving the floods. And I remember me and Robin walking back, and I had a big bag of board games trying to climb over flood barriers, trying to get back to the travel lodge. And of course, but actually, you're here for the wargaming. So the day was do you know what? I didn't put up the picture of all of us. That's the one thing, like the con picture. So one of you can go find that. I'm sure everyone's seen it. But we had just an awesome day. So the first thing you would have seen as you walked in, which I now believe it hasn't been deleted by Streamer. There we go. Is Ian Mann's Trafalgar.
Hey.
Awesome.
One for one. The Battle of Trafalgar. I do now. Did Victory get sunk about halfway through the day?
It apparently got sunk halfway through the day.
How cool does that look?
Apparently went off single-handedly to take on the French fleet. It took down a few before it went down on its own, but there you go.
Well, the problem, obviously, it was a bit because people were stopped by the floodwaters as they started getting towards CrackCon, so people were sort of coming in dribs and drabs. But everyone was in there and set up. So here we have Ian's awesome game. Ian, who runs Balls and Swords, he set this up at the front of the shop. Just a little bit down from that, we had Alex with his awesome looking game of Chain of Command. Which got a lot of attention through the day, which was very, very cool. I'm just going through these in the order that they've uploaded, so rather than upstairs, downstairs. Upstairs, we had Nimitz being run by Robin. So more naval warfare upstairs. That was very cool. I don't actually know who won that in the end. I'm sure they told me, but I've forgotten. Who won? I know you guys are watching, so who?
The
who
Italians.
won? How did it go?
The Italians.
Italians had a navy.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, they did.
You see, this is World War II. It's not my strong point. Just along from that, we had Tim's game, which you took part in, didn't you, Ken?
Very good. There was a rule that was made up on the day that it sits in my mind now.
What's that?
Shoot. Yeah, no. I actually remember. I need to give credit, not to Tim, but Tim's friend. I'm really sorry, but I've completely forgotten his name. I want to say Ed. Aaron, that's it. Aaron, that's it. Aaron. So Aaron said to me, he said, "Why don't you?" he was playing Insurgents and I was playing the French Foreign Legion. And he said, why can't my Insurgents shoot into that close combat? He said, because they wouldn't give a shit about that shooting their own men because they're from a different country. And I was like, that's a fair point, actually. So we made a rule 1 to 3. Well, he made a rule 1 to 3 that he shoots his own guys, 4, 5, or 6. He shoots me, and he has to do the same test. And I quite like that rule. It kind of adds a bit of spice to it. But you can only do it if you're Insurgents.
What was the outcome? What was the outcome of the game? How did you do?
I won literally just. Literally came
awesome
right down to
game.
the wire. It was really good. Really good.
This was the thing, and the thing was as well. Tim was saying, going from where Tim started to then running a game.
Yeah,
this game was big, really well done. Up from that was the big old sharp practice game, and then just beyond that, you can see the big Flames of War game with Ben, who came all the way over from Denmark, and a couple of the others. But this was awesome. There were a lot of Richard Winkers. I realised there was one on this table.
There were multiple Winkers in action.
There was multiple Winkers, and not just in the underpass.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't go through the underpass this year. I was upset.
It was flooded.
It wasn't flooded on the way back after the car, was it? It was but no one wanted to go just in case the playing field was underwater. Downstairs, James and his Blood and Plunder game. Look at it as well.
Let's try this. It was amazing.
He bought chocolates. Yeah, I know you did because it was me, you, Steph and Jill, and then Ken was on the ship and just got done from both sides. But no, this was an awesome game. You can see here that James did bring chocolates to bribe people into but no,
he didn't need to, did he?
No, he did an awesome job, and also winner of our best table, which was a awesome, which so well done. There he is. Look at him. There he goes. And then where are we? This was Tewkesbury put on by Don upstairs. So lovely big Wars of the Roses battle. But they did have to. They started late because they had to go out and rescue Matt Nail, who had just been doing circles of Derby and can get in there. So they went out to rescue him. But doesn't that look cracking? That really does. We've got to say a big thank you to George from who came over from Futsal and demoed Gangs of Rome, which I know got a lot of attention. I heard a lot of swearing coming over the table. I remember hearing at one point Robin complaining because Matt kept throwing stones at him or something like that, something along those lines. Every time there was just someone there with a sling. But that looked awesome, didn't it? Unfortunately, Andy couldn't make it. But because he was unwell, but that was great. And what's great about it is it was just drop-in. So we actually had all the drop-in games sort of at one end of the room, which I think actually worked a lot better because then you had everything sort of nicely sort of piled up. Also, we were near where you could buy the stuff for those games. Next to this, of course, we had Space Weirdos.
Fucking brilliant.
There is. Now, I got to admit, I feel like I owe you an apology, Steve, because as I was sitting next to you just here and you left that remote control near me, I did just keep pressing buttons to change the lights and to make them strobe. Then I realized that you might have had them different colors for a reason. So I do apologize.
No. They all work. I absolutely enjoyed it. It was brilliant. I did four games over the course of the day. Really brutal. Every single game was just brutal. And what I liked about it is that anyone that was playing, no one played conservatively. Everyone just wanted to go and kick the crap out of each other, and it was brilliant. I had a great time. It was good seeing the scenery all finally done and dusted.
That was just so cool. It really was. Dom, I don't suppose you've got a picture of your game. I just realised I haven't uploaded one. So while I show,
let me go find it.
So, and then opposite that, I was putting on games of Bushido. And also, could you find one of Paul's Donnybrook? I realised I didn't upload one of that as well. Pressure. There was our game of Bushido, and I managed to run 3 games of that during the day. My first game, which I demoed here against Evil Jim, with his multiple spawning Savage Wave, which we realized made the game last a lot longer because you got my guys who just wouldn't die. They just keep getting back up because they're undead. And then you got his guys that just spawn people like basically all these gremlins and keep throwing them at you. So that was cool. But that was a great game. And then I hosted Ian play with his Rokan Temple, played against Steve with your Tengu.
Yes.
Steve. And how did you find it?
I loved it. I thought it was the first ever game of Bushido I've played. So I didn't really know what I was doing. But as I said when we were discussing it afterwards, Martin, the combat mechanics of the game are fantastic. It's like a game within itself. It's all about bluffing and deciding, how much you want to attack, how much you want to defend, and there's some proper evil tricks and abilities as well. So yeah, really, I really enjoyed it.
Why don't you tell the bit? So I don't want to linger on it. It's my game, but basically, Steve has an owl. Okay, who is his, I guess, de facto leader, and Steve's owl man was hiding out, and Steve thought he was safe. We found out that the guy he was playing against, Ian, could basically cast a lightning bolt into one guy, and then he could essentially chain lightning to other models, and Steve's owl got just turned into some smoking feathers.
The thing is, though, he took more damage than the person being attacked originally. The guy that instigated the combat, he got off fairly lightly, but Mr. Owl, he was taking double damage than what the other guy was.
I think it was fair play because, to be fair, like the first blood went to you because Ian ran his what I can only describe as Bruce Lee into the middle of the board, and you just shanked him.
Yeah,
and that was it. You just brutally killed him.
It was my best roll of the day, 6 on the damage table, which meant just instant one stabby knifey kill.
That was great time to play. But then
That'd be
behind
nice.
me,
I like that, Steve.
there was this game of General Darmay. How did that go, Dom? Because you were.
It was an absolute cracker. I do feel very bad for Dave because he was fighting against me particularly, and my dice. My dice can be a little bit good. They were absolutely unbelievably good that day.
Which dice were they?
They were the new pink ones.
They weren't even the tank dice. That's what's even more frustrating.
These new ones, these new pink dice.
Those very dice.
You'll be able to order next week.
But we'll be able to.
I'm going to get more because they were superb. So yeah, that was a right good game. So it was Prussians holding out against French and Polish. General Darmay. We must have played for, I don't know how long we played. About 5 hours, I think.
I remember having
that game went on. That game went on a long time. Yeah. Every time I looked up, you would normally games at that size. They're normally done. No, but just after lunch.
It just went on and on and on, and it was really tight all the way through. Really good fun.
It did look really, really cool. That's the general. Two General Army. I
must have uploaded two.
I've uploaded two. And then do we have one of Donnybrook?
I'm trying to find it at the moment.
Well, I'm sure there's one in there. Up here, you can see a bit closer up one of the Flames of War game. They got 2 games in up there, but that looked awesome up there. And they had a great time. Dan here, I think this is his first taste of it, and I think he loved it. I hear reliably that he was then searching out DAC army lists the next day. So that went down well. I know that Dom was having a good time because when the food arrived or when we were trying to do the raffle, I had to basically drag him away from the game because no, just one more melee.
I was winning, and I didn't even have to change dice either. It's fantastic.
Let's not talk about changing dice.
Would we like to admit something?
No.
Yeah, we do. I want to hear this.
No. It will come up later. We'll do it in the. It'll come up later. I'm surprised he hasn't bloody clipped it, to be honest.
Have I not?
Oh no! Anyway, of course. So we had an also, and one of the big things of the day is the raffle. Now, this was taken before a bunch of other prizes got added, but if you can just take a look, the raffle table filled up very quickly. And we've got to say, he's in the comments, and we've got to say a massive thank you to Don Bickersey, who basically funded one of our two of our star prizes, which is the Tobruk box you can see out there, and the Blood and Plunder. Don basically very kindly, essentially, he's always been a supporter of the stream and of our channels, and they wanted to give something. So a big thank you to Don for that. So, and he basically asked us to pick something. What else could we do but pick the Blood and Plunder starter set, which you'll be pleased to know Ken didn't win. What is funny is that Ken won his own shitty rulebook that he put into the raffle.
That was
I gave it away.
perfect.
I know, and we weren't having it. We say a big thank you as well to Hayley.
Were you saying that
and to
those
Jill.
rules are shit?
No, you said it was shitty. I quote. Big thank you to Hayley and to Jill, who folded. What was it? How many raffle tickets?
Over 1,000.
Over 1,000.
Well over 1,000. I'm sure that because I know Hayley's in there, he's probably going to correct us in the chat. But they did incredibly well, and we'll announce the total that we raised shortly afterwards. Those of you who came along will know that we were raising money for WizKids. So Cal here, you probably know him as Brush and Quill on YouTube, is doing the marathon next year on behalf of WizKids, which is a charity that he works with, and it's all just about getting young people who are in wheelchairs into support they need, to buying new chairs, and just giving them the skills to be able to participate and do awesome things. So we're really happy to essentially support him in his bid to do the marathon and put the money towards that. So should we announce it? Should we see how much? 3,000 tickets.
Yeah, we might as well. Let's announce.
Okay, well, Carol Vorderman down there, Dom, has been doing the maths.
I've been called many things, but never that.
Never Carol Vorderman.
Dom, why don't you
have a
announce
drum roll?
There
we go. So yeah, thank you to everybody who donated, all the companies, all the individuals. As we said, Don, thank you for the money you sent over to buy the stuff. We can announce we are going to give Callum 700 English pounds towards his charitable ventures, which is absolutely superb. I think it's the most we've ever donated from CrackCon. How much have we raised over the?
Well, I think we've now done over £2,000
now.
Over £2,000.
No, we've done. Hang on. 2,500. We've done now.
2,500. Wow.
Yep, 2,500.
So
we've done.
Yeah.
So thank you to everyone.
Thank you to everyone who bought tickets.
Massive thanks. Yeah.
Some people just put money in to donate. So awesome. Really good job.
And I didn't win. Neither did Dom.
I didn't win a thing.
Steve, did you win? You won Anakin Skywalker, didn't you?
Yeah, I traded him.
Yeah, I know you did.
So I will admit, when the Marvel Crisis Protocol box came up, I thought a big congrats to Martin for winning it as well.
Not me.
Yeah, not
my prize.
I was in two minds. If it had come up, I'd have gone, do I give it back because I'd rather someone else win it, or do I just take it? And so I was dreading it. And do what also terrified me? The sheer amount of Napoleonic figures in the raffle. I was having chest pains.
There was lots of drummers there for you, mate. There was lots of drummers. Yeah,
that was it. And as John's pointed out, the Blood and Plunder box, it was kind of poetic because Nathan, who won it, who also won about like 3 other prizes as well. He just played it. And had fallen in love with the game. And then he won the box. So it was clearly fated. And Nathan, if you're watching this, do you just like never do anything at the weekend? Did I see you in a Never Mind the Bill Hooks competition post?
He was, this tournament, yeah.
You are sir. You are prolific. Rogue Trooper just wants you to know that if Dom is Carol Vorderman, he's ruined all his childhood fantasies. But we
I know where you're coming from, mate.
There we go. Here's some of this.
Hey,
look at that.
I'm the only one I can find. I'm sorry,
but
there are more.
That coach though was made by Paul's mate. That isn't a kid. His mate just made it. He's like, I need this. Okay, and he made it for him. How cool was that? But it was. I saw a lot of games being played on there, and a lot of laughter coming from there. And that's of course what the day is all about. And here we are, the happy crowd. So thank you very, very much to everybody who attended and supported Boards and Swords, supported WizKids and CrackCon, and just wanted to come out and help us. And it didn't stop there, did it? Because we went for the curry. 45 of us at all you can eat curry house. So what can we say? I hurt after this. I really did. I was in pain. I love it how Miller just sticks out. Like, not because he's eating a lot of curry, just because he's like what the
fuck you looking at?
It basically was. But what a awesome group of people. We had an awesome time.
Yeah.
So thank you very, very much, all of you, for attending. And then I suppose we just have to finish it on.
Yay.
Thank you, Don, who also bought us some drinks.
Yes,
so that is Ken with a Bailey's. He just wanted to drink something the same color as his shirt.
It's just as well I wasn't doing that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what you did. Was it? Would you be having Colgate? Did you just? I've just seen. Are we looking at the?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Picture. That's the lady.
I genuinely didn't realise. It took me so long. It was in my peripheral vision for so long.
Every time you looked around, she was staring at you. It was scary. It was really scary.
I forgot. To be fair, I forgot she was there when we first walked in. So I remember seeing a picture of her in the tube, but you've shown it, and then I was thinking, why is there two fucking people behind that bar, and that one's not moving? And it was like holding a tray.
The best thing, we were chatting to the barman, and we convinced him to come to CrackCon.
Yeah, he won a prize. Did he win a prize?
Yeah, he won a prize, did he? Did he win a prize? I can't remember.
Yeah.
He was playing Gangs of Rome. So it spreads.
That was
spreads.
so weird because I'd seen her the night before, got surfed by her the night before, didn't see him arrive on the Saturday, and I was on the table next to Gangs of Rome, and I turned around and went, "Hold on a second, did I see you last night?
Where's my beer?"
It was really very.
Yeah, where's my beer?
Bring me around, barman.
Absolutely, but what an awesome time. There's a couple of things we have to say. One, if you were one of the people who bought a ticket and you weren't able to attend because of illness or floods or whatever, your goodie bag is on its way to you. So Haley's sorted that out. Just thank you very, very much. All right then. Is that it now? Is that the end of the stream?
No,
Can we lay down now?
No, I was going to say, CrackCon 5. I still think we should go Crack-a-Lackalicious, but there we go.
No one thinks that. You think that, but no one else thinks that.
I think it's funny.
Yeah, but Ken, no. This is why you don't get a say in anything we do.
We don't involve you in any decision making.
Yeah, it's why you. Yeah, that's why. That's it. That's why we have to separate chat.
Oh.
The adult chat. We don't let the child in.
Okay.
Which is funny enough.
Right.
Ken will be saying in about 6 months' time. Don't let the child in.
I'll find out if it's a boy or a girl on Thursday.
I mean, I like it that you think it's going to like you.
Yeah. See if you can have a penis or it's not. But there we go.
Bloody hell, Ken!
What's wrong with him tonight?
I got shouted at. Right, where did we get to? Okay.
Carol Vorderman.
Carol Vorderman, my turn.
Yeah, Carol Vorderman, go for it.
Jeez, right. Onwards. Is there any? I bet everything's dropped. All the pictures are dropped off now, haven't they? Probably because of all that. Let me start. Because it's nearly 2 weeks worth of painting here, mate. I'm sorry.
God.
Oh,
actually, it's not
back
that
in an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's not that bad, to be fair. I did some more Belgian. These are Belgian chasseurs for my Belgian brigade, Black Powder Brigade. So they're all Perry metals, I believe. I remember rightly. I'm quite pleased with it. They came out all right. And they're lovely green, more little green bastards for you, Martin.
Well, I mean, after what happened in our last showing, I'm not going to be playing that again for a while.
No.
So
that's true. But I got them with the epics as well. So there's a couple of regiments of epics were done. So there we go. That's I forget which regiment that one is. It's written on the bottom. The red
The
one.
red.
It is a red one. It is a red one. I think it might be. I think that's a Swedish one. I think. And then I did a green one. There you go. So there's two of them done. So I've found the secret to painting these is even quicker. It's just use a different undercoat spray color and then just pick out a few colors. It's fantastic. So I'm rattling through them like crazy. And then I did some big guns because everyone likes big guns, don't they?
Everyone likes a big gun.
Everyone likes a big gun. So these are actually 15mm Peter Pig, which fit in perfectly with Epic because they are on the smaller side of 15mm. So they work really well. So a couple of large guns, one for each side, done there, which is very good. I'm pleased with that. They did see an outing. If you watched the video I put up of my first Epic game, which was I really enjoyed. I can't wait to have another gun actually. And I realised from that game I hadn't done enough officers, so I thought I'd better do some officers. So there's some command groups.
So you just did 6 bases.
Yeah, I did 6 bases. Well, they're only little bitty ones, aren't they? You know.
Dom, you said that like it was a mere afterthought. Oh,
Yeah, it was actually. I just it worried me, so I thought I better do some. You know how it is. You know how it is. But I also didn't have enough cavalry because you need lots of cavalry, so it's more cavalry. Swedish cavalry, those. And then some more commanded shots. So yeah, there you go. So that was all the epic stuff.
And then too much then, Dom.
Not that much. I think there's more, but I must have missed them. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So then I thought I'd better upscale. So I showed these on the Facebook page this morning, but I finished these.
Yeah,
off.
you bastard.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look at that. That's the bloody miniatures cavalry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you've done that actually, because putting them together, I was, because we were talking about it because we said we would just stick them all together, but they just look so characterful. A great unit. They just look so cool. And
I thought they're just going to be a veteran unit. I know they're all a hodgepodge of different things. You've got cuirassiers, you've got half armored guys, you've got
well, that's that's a Harry Sidebottom novel right there. They've been in the 30s War and they've come back.
Perfect.
It's essentially Essex dogs, but
but for
lovely.
So I enjoyed that, and that only took me. Well, it was absolutely peeing it down with rain yesterday, so a lot of it was done during the day yesterday and finished off overnight. So there you go. That's what I've been up to.
Very nice.
Awesome.
That's what I've been doing.
Right. Yes. Interesting story about what I've been up to recently. Before we get to that well, it is for me. Before we get to that madness, these were mentioned earlier, but I finished. So I painted these. Actually, finished them the day before CrackCon. So these are my Tengu for Bushido.
Can you please? Right, so that one at the front left. If we just replace that with some burnt feathers.
Yeah, just like a comedy, burning, smouldering thing.
I can't. If you guys are in the Facebook group, and if you have a look at Ian's giant tortoise, that was the bane of Steve.
God.
But yeah, it just motored around. Well, I say motored. It didn't motor anywhere, did it?
It didn't.
Just kind of trundled around the board.
I was in control of 2 objectives, and he'd left one unguarded, and I thought, ooh, my birdmen are quite fast. I'll have that objective. And what happens? This bloody turtle, traveling at God knows how slow, wanders into close combat with one of my big birdmen, and that did me for the rest of the game. So we called it a draw, didn't we? Because
we did, yeah. It was. I think that was a. I think that was a good choice. I think. I think it was. I mean, there was a guy sitting on the back of the tortoise, wasn't there? Tortoise.
Yes, that was a very strange miniature, but I never thought my day would be ruined by a giant turtle.
You do play some weird shit games, Steve. So
there's a brilliant photograph of Ian after he just lost his second that woman with the big. It was frying people. I ganged up and I finally took her down. There's a fantastic picture of Ian going.
There's Ian. I know that's Ian. You're right, dude. Yeah, there was. It was really close. It was really tight.
It was, and I enjoyed it, and Martin did a great job of teaching us because we never played before. So it was really well explained. But apart from my dice rolling at the very first in turn 3 with the double sixes, lamentable dice rolling after that. We also mentioned it earlier, but here's another picture of my setup for Space Weirdos.
Nice.
Ken, I think this was your game, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably where I kept dying. Yes.
Because Jim, he
annihilated me.
He took your gang to pieces. But yeah, big thanks to everyone. Big thanks to everyone. What's brilliant is the day after CrackCon, Jim messaged me and he bought the rules and bought some Stargrave figures.
Yes,
you spread the word.
Yes, which but I enjoy it. Yeah, big thanks to everyone that took part. I really enjoyed, umpiring it. It was it's a really quick. I mean, Ken, it's a quick game to learn, isn't it? I mean,
you learn it in like 2 turns. Yeah,
all the rules are down, and it's it's simple, but it's complex in a way that, do you run and lower your dice type? Do you aim and up your dice type? There's so many decisions, but it's just such a great game, and I'm going to be looking at Sword Weirdos moving forward as well. So,
okay.
I know you've been. I know because Ian had a game as well, didn't he? Because he played like that, and so I know Ian enjoyed it as well. In fact, your table, apart from when I snatched you to play Bushido, it was always full.
Yeah, it was. I was apart that hour and a bit playing Bushido. I was running games pretty much all day. So that's what I was up to. What I've been up to since then? I've been spending money. CrackCon cost me a bloody fortune. Do you know why? Remember the other week we were talking about 20 mil gaming, but specifically Battle Group. So I went away and I've been thinking about it. Having a look. Didn't really commit. And then on the way to CrackCon, James very, very kindly gave me a lift too from Derby. And he was telling me about this idea that he's had for this big game of Battle Group. And it sounded absolutely fascinating. And over the course of the weekend, I got talking to a lot of people who play 20 mil 1/72 scale. And they're like, oh, it's the true scale for World War II. You won't regret it. They're fantastic figures. And they were listing off all these different miniature manufacturers. So I was off on the Monday, and I got on the internet.
You spent some moolah.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing was, so that's all right. So I've bought vehicles. I'm currently painting this Stug.
No conversation ever finishes well that starts with "I was off on the Monday and I went on the internet."
Yeah, and bad things happen. So I'm currently painting some AB turned up this morning, and these were just brilliant. But I actually had some 20 mil 1/72 Plastic Soldier Company in the stash that I bought accidentally last year, and I was working on an old group. I've been painting these up, and there we go.
Very
nice.
Cool. Very
nice. Cool.
I know you said they were kind of an interesting combination of the 2 different scales that you normally do.
It's, as I said, Dom. My approach was I was like, they're not 15, they're not 28. What's going on? I don't know. Do I go for lots of detail? Do I go for not so much detail? Do I go for 3 feet? But I painted those over a couple of nights. And they're Plastic Soldier Company 1/72 scale. And they're really, really nice to paint.
Very nice.
So here's a Panzerschreck team. And I just enjoy.
Nice.
Do you know what people kept saying to me? It's a rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. What once you look into what's 20 mil 1/72, you won't go back. And you know what? It's true. It's absolutely true. So many manufacturers, so many bizarre. James is saying you can get so many random, obscure, bizarre vehicles and tanks at this scale. It's just so. What I'm planning for is Battle Group. But I also want to do it. I want to play bolt action at 20 mil as well.
Oh, okay.
Because it's singly based infantrymen, 2 are for team weapons. And I've just really enjoyed it. I never thought I'd see myself working at 20 because I thought I work so many scales anyway. But I've got to say, when these AB miniatures turned up today, absolutely. I know people have been saying, "Oh, Steve's painting metal figures. What's going on? Has he been sniffing super glue again?"
That has crossed our minds.
But no, just at the quality of the sculpts at this scale, just brilliant. So they'll be getting much more of my money moving forward. So I'm going to be working on 20 mil. Yes. I did speak to quite a few people over the weekend about 20 mil, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's brilliant. The best scale for World War II." The thing is, I grew up playing with 1/72 scale figures, just like little toy soldiers. And there was quite a range back then. But I was also this is like I was looking at 1/72 American Civil War as well, because I was thinking that this might work for sharp practice.
Is there anything you weren't looking at 1/72 scale?
No, not Napoleonics. They didn't even come into the equation. But got to admit, big thank you to everyone that recommended the 20 mil, because I'm enjoying it. I really am. It's just it's a good scale. It's that sweet spot between 28 and 15. It's just a really good scale. So yeah, prepare for more 20 mil. Oh, and I also picked up this was the Overlord book for Battle Group.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I've been doing 20 mil
Busy
World War.
boy.
I've been back to normal stuff. No, there's been no weird shit for the past couple of weeks. It's just been World War II. What's going on? What is going on here?
Yeah, but it's not been completely unweird, because you've been doing metal, and that is really weird.
Yeah. But everyone I spoke to about AB Mains is like, oh, everyone has just been just glowing recommendation. I can certainly understand why, because they're just, for this scale, just the quality is ridiculous, and great service through Eureka as well. Got them in a week. Brilliant service, brilliant man. Just looking forward to it.
Yes, I'm glad, very glad. So it comes down to me then. What have I done this week?
I think you might have missed someone there, Cam.
You might have missed Martin, by the way, but don't worry about it.
I thought we start. Oh, fuck it, we'll go with me first. So done my first battalion of British Napoleonics. I've finished them, based them, and they've got their flags. Yay, King's German Legion, first battalion.
Very nice.
Yeah, I was very happy with them, to be fair. So yeah, I like the more dramatic poses, especially with the blank companies. And guess what? It's 3D printed.
No. Drink.
I purposely hid the drummer behind for you, Steve, so you haven't got to look at him.
Good.
So yeah, I've done that this week. I've literally very, very nearly finished my lifeguards as well. There is a reason for this. James Wilkinson should be coming down my way in January, and we're hoping to have a game of Napoleonics, a rather large game. So we need to get painting. And so does James. Don't you, James? Quicker than one boot a day. So so that's the reason behind it. So yeah, painting up some Napoleonics, and I've also done a proof of concept for a white scar as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Very nice. Very nice.
And he's 3D printed as well. Yeah. So yes, very happy with that. So that's me this week. But like I say, I'm definitely looking to get some more Napoleonics done. Back on the Napoleonic bandwagon. There's nothing wrong with that, is there, Dom?
Nothing wrong with that at all, my friend. Nothing.
No. So, Martin, what have you been up to?
What I've been doing. Well, I'm going to get this out of the way because I know Dom's going to comment on it. So I was editing our most recent game of Rangers of Shadow Deep to get that up because we actually played it probably over a month ago, and I just hadn't had time to put it. Have you genuinely clipped it, or do I need to just?
I haven't. No, you need to confess because I am going to clip it. But,
all right. Yeah. So basically, I love Rangers of Shadow Deep. It's a brilliant game, and the way that we're playing it, which is just as a casual, we're not explaining the rules really. We're just playing it. It's me, Matt Miller, and Robin. I was out of this game. So if any of you watch spoilers, my ranger died in the first game, so I just decided to roll for all the gribblies, but we kept it on the same difficulty. In this mission, they've got to run through and they've got to set fire to trees, and it's just farcical. Really, it really is. All they got to do is set fire to the forest. But I mean, Dom, you watched it last night, didn't you?
I did, and I have to say, if you get you could get these management consultant people coming in and tell you how to run a place, and get you lot in to show you how not to run anything. Because gee whiz, if there was a way to cock it up, you lot managed it. It was very fun.
I did like it that essentially it's the companions, it's the helpers, the followers that do all the work.
They do all the work.
and my main ones don't. But basically, through the game, I did decide I couldn't work out because on the companions, Miller's companion is just called Boy. Matt's is called Kess, but we didn't have a model for a bird, so it's now a human. Robin's is Roger, the tavern boy. Less
obviously
about that. There was and we just realized halfway through, why don't we just call it Dom, Ken, and Steve? Like and so throughout the game I kept I love this dice, and then my best dice roll in the whole game, I'd picked up another dice and rolled it and not even realized, and I subconsciously dommed in the middle of the game, and all the others are basically going, oh, he's gonna see it, and I was saying, oh, he's not gonna watch this. So
I was watching it,
and he was watching it.
What made that even funnier was the thing you said, oh, he won't notice. He went, and I was watching it right there, so it was great.
And he went, fucking have you, Martin? Got you.
He did. I know he did. But yeah, it was great fun, and I will have a ranger for the next one. Although I've read the next mission, and the next mission, because remember that once we've just played are training missions. The next one, and I didn't even make it out of the training level. The next one is basically you're trying to sneak up on a heavily guarded bridge with loads of like guys with bows and arrows, and then the nightmare mode is essentially add 2 ogres to it.
You lot have got not a cat in hell's chance.
I know. I can't wait. But I have done some things. So I have been working on some of these. Now, I was very kindly sent these by AK Interactive.
Nice.
Sent me the Fortunate Sons, which is their first miniature release. So I've been working on those. So a little bit of a PCP look. There should be a video out later in the week. So this is the other one. So there's my first one. He's got a bit of a as I can't remember if it was Robin or Matt. So he's got a bit of a House Goliath look going on about him. So these are 30 mil, right?
Okay,
but they're not. Okay, so I feel like they're basically large 28. These are to World War II what bloody miniatures are to ECW. Okay, they are at the larger end. They are bigger than say Warlord, but not by a lot. You know, you
could blend them, yeah.
Yes, they would just be some larger guys, but these are done in a sort of what I'm describing as sort of a graphic novel style. They're quite muscular. They're basically kind of heroic. They just remind me of bloody miniatures, basically, just pumped up the World War II. So these are airborne, and I'm also they sent me this. So I'm using a paint set, and so I haven't touched anything. Well, there's one contrast paint on here. And that's because all the other paints are just from the paint set that they sent, which is to go with it, which is the US Airborne D-Day paint set. So I thought, well, if they said I'm just going to use that, and the only thing that didn't include was flesh. So I've gone back and done flesh the way I'd normally do it, which involves at the very, very beginning using a little bit of contrast paint to get the shadows. So it's a bit, and I've worked off a black undercoat, which is unusual for me. So and no Zenithal, just straight off.
Oh, you normally grey, aren't you, mine, or white?
No, Zenithal, no, just black, then white. Because I quite like I like high contrast. I don't bother with mid-tones. I don't see the point. So I'm just working up from a black. So these are a lot of fun. They've got a lot of character to them, and I think they're really good. But I've got a video. I've got to finish up. I've got another 4 in front of me at the minute. One of whom really looks like Sam from Cheers. Which I've only just realised. Yeah, it's going well.
Good.
Yeah, I'm enjoying
really
those. So I'm hoping to have that video out this week if I can pull my thumb out. So yeah, that's me.
Very nice. Happy days. So, right, tonight's topic: battles that you want to game and why haven't you? So, who wants to kick off? Anyone in particular? If not, I can start. It's not a problem. I will start.
Ken, is this the one you were talking to us about?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
Yes,
it
it
is.
is. Yes, it is. So, give me 2 seconds. I shall share my screen because I was genuinely intrigued and surprised that people had not heard of this. And it got me thinking, things that you think are common history that actually aren't. And is there things out there that you think, oh yeah, that's standard, that's really cool, I really want to war game that, and people might not know about it, but then if you speak about it, they might want to get involved. So give me 2 seconds. And it's there. Okay. So everyone can see my screen okay? Is it big enough? Or do you need me to zoom in?
Yeah, that's better.
Zoom in a little bit, yeah?
Yeah, a little bit.
That better?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. So mine is the Battle of Mirbat. Okay. Bit modern.
Have we got Tim to blame for this, by the way?
No, we haven't. This is me.
Okay.
I've known about this a long time. It was the British SAS, Royal Forces of Oman, versus they're called short term for them is ADU. Okay, so they're insurgents. They're not very happy with the Sultan. And they want to take control of the oil fields. I can't see what anyone's writing.
Just you. They're not very happy.
They're not very happy. It's like Jack and Nori version of military history. I love it. Brilliant.
Yeah.
I could just imagine a book about Che Guevara starting off with, and they weren't very happy.
No, they weren't. So it's the Dauphin Rebellion.
That the opening crawl of the new Napoleon film is going to start with the French weren't very happy.
Very happy. Yes. Right. Okay. That's all right. Don't worry. I've lost where I fucking was now. Cheers.
They weren't very happy.
Yeah, they weren't very happy. Yeah, the Adu weren't very happy. Okay. Right. So yeah, they weren't happy. So the Sultan of Muscat and Oman asked the British to assist in defending his territory. We decided to send not officially SAS soldiers. So these guys left the regiment. They left the regiment and went over to Oman, all of them somehow. And they all re-enlisted afterwards, which was really weird. So, yes, and they kind of did an underground warfare. This battle's famous because it had a Victoria Cross won at it. And I shall get into that a little bit more. So basically what happened is you can see on the top right here, there's a fort. This fort controls basically, let me get this up, this area here. And this high ground here literally controls the whole peninsula. So if you control this, you control Mirbat, you control the oil fields, basically. So you have to control this. Very important strategic location. Okay. The British, there was 9 of them, and there was 40 Omanian troops that were defending this position. Okay, and what would happen is on a daily thing, the Adu would come in, fire off a couple of mortars at the British position, a bit of small arms, and then disappear back into the hills. Yeah, right. But this day they decided not to. They decided to attack in strength. 300-400 Adu decided to come on and have a go. And there's like 9 SAS soldiers defending this one thing called a bat house. Okay, so it's a defensive stance, so what the British do very well. And the 40 Omanians refused to come out and fight. Well, one of them tried to, but he was killed instantly. and the rest of them locked themselves in a built in that fort, which is in the top right. So it was 9 SAS soldiers versus about 400 guys. So it's like modern Rorke's Drift.
Sir.
Yeah, go on.
Please,
Sir, I need to interrupt with Ken. He's with James. 3D Wargamer is no more. Not very happy histories with Ken.
Very good.
Continue.
Thank you. Right. So there is a documentary on this. You can look it up. There's an hour-long documentary.
This is better. This is better. Carry on.
I want this version. This
I
is
like
fantastic.
But it's they do an interview with all the some of the soldiers that were there. So the commanding officer, there's about 4 or 5 SAS guys that were actually there, and they talk about the battle in greater detail. But when I'm talking about the Victoria Cross, it was won by a Fijian. He's called Laba Laba, is his last name. His first name, but I don't want to say it wrong, but I think it's Allergi Laba Laba. Yeah, there it is, Laba Laba there. He's posthumously awarded it the Victoria Cross. Basically, what he'd done is fucking insane, really. This 25-pounder was an old Royal Artillery piece from the Second World War. It was the biggest bit of ordnance in that valley. So if the Adu had captured that, they could have just turned the gun on the British and the Omanians and just completely wiped them out. This gun's situated about 400 meters from the bat house where the British are at the start of the battle. And Laba Laba decides to run to the gun because that's his stand to position in open ground, no cover, flat terrain, nothing. Man the 25-pounder, and he fired 9 rounds on a 25-pounder single-handedly on his own before being killed, and that was within a minute. So he literally was just bashing like rounds down range at these Adu, and around his position there was 38 dead Adu when he was found afterwards.
Wow,
which is fucking insane, really. But you can see the guys that were there. So you've got that's it. Talaskai Laba Laba. I can't pronounce it. I'm really sorry. But these are the guys that are there. So you can each do different bits and bobs. So you can go through individual figures. Obviously, this is an interesting one. So Pete Warren, he's also known as Soldier Eye and a Snapper. He took part in D Squadron's the Iranian embassy siege. So he was the first guy through the window on the Iranian embassy siege. A couple of guys died. So you had Tommy Tobin, he was the medic, he died of his wounds, and you had Staff Sergeant Laba Laba killed in action. But the rest of the guys survived. But these Omanians, none of them, it was literally 9 guys versus 400, and I just think it would be a really cool game to play.
So what? How would you play it? Would you play that mass battle? I mean, obviously, you can't play it mass. But what I mean is
how would I play it?
Yeah. What system would you use?
I would use. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh, excuse me. I would probably use one of 2 things. I'd either go with O Group, or I would go with Bolt Action Modified. Okay, and when I say Bolt Action Modified, I would do the British troops, so the SAS, I would be putting them to a save of a 2+ because there's 9 of them. Okay,
would you be activating them individually? So would the British side get 1 dice per man?
Yes, I would say so. Especially if it depends how you play it, Steve. Because what I would say is you could do waves. Yeah, you could do waves obviously because you're not going to have 300-400 guys going to be like. Charging at once. They'd be on a long. When they advanced, they were in a long spread out line, and this is how they were able to do some damage because they had a 50 cal on the top of the roof. So that was pumping out a lot of firepower, as you can imagine. If you've got a straight line of Adu, 50 cal is going to make a bit of mincemeat out of the guys, depending on tactically advancing. But yeah, I think individually, that would be a good shout to. Put a dice in for individual, and then it depends. Maybe go half dice. Depends how many of insurgents you actually put on the field at the time. And when they die, obviously, maybe they've got to survive a certain number of rounds and do it like that. or they've got to make so many kills to be able to win the battle, because that's what happened in the end. They killed so many people. The guys just said, "Nah, we're not gonna do it anymore." But after that they didn't come again in strength. And the Sultan was very happy because he got to keep his oil fields. Of course, there was no British interest at all with the oil fields. Of course not, or anything like that. But I was speaking to one of the guys at CrackCon. Really sorry, but I forgot your name. But he actually went to the battlefield because he was in the army at the time, and he because he was the only one who knew about it, the Battle of Mirbat. So, be interesting to know in the chat what if people know about it. I just want to get a gauge, really, because I think it's like I said, the documentary is really good. It's definitely well worth a watch.
I think you did really well. I do, but I really like Don's comment here. Are you basically saying that at the end they were even more unhappy?
They were very pissed off. Yeah.
Robin's raised a good point. You could do this, and rather than saying, could you do it? So would it be a solo game with AI controlled enemy, or could you do it as a group? So maybe there's 4 of you. And you've got 9 SAS, so maybe.
How
so
does
you
0
have,
200
work? Well, there is an AI version of that, but I'm just saying, could you have it so each of you control 2 SAS, and then you have one command, like a command figure that changes every turn. And that would be.
The other thing I would think, if you didn't want to fight exactly how the battle planned out, you remember you've got 40 Omanian troops. This is what I said about O Group. So you could try and completely change it, because obviously the Omanians didn't take part in the battle. You could actually use them properly, how they were actually, meant to be used. And it'd be interesting to see how, if they actually came out, what sort of difference that would have made.
So that's going to be your game next year, right?
It's quite tempting.
I think you should.
Go for it.
You're clearly interested and passionate in it, and I think it would be cool. It'd be very cool. You should do it. I think, from what you, and not knowing anything about the battle, I quite like the idea, especially coming off the back of games like Rangers of Shadow Deep, where you actually work against the game with a group of people, and even if you're there, sort of. GMing a game, games mastering a game for people against it, and the enemy are AI controlled, perhaps controlled by cards, and something like that. See how far they move or how many activate, and you're trying to do that. I think that could be really. It
does
fun.
strike you as a really good cooperative game. That's for sure.
Yeah,
rather than one-sided.
Yeah, suppose, but you'd use a quasi RPG system like Pulp Alley.
Yeah.
So if you've got 9 characters, you could turn them all into characters. If you've got 9 troopers, turn them all into individual characters. I think that'd be great from like Paul said, a quasi RPG system. I think that would work really quite well. I think the battle's already got like a great narrative anyway. But if you could combine that sort of character building aspect into it, I think that'd work really quite well. Again, I think there's so many different rule systems you could use, like bolt action, like I said before, 1 dice per man, turn them into a lot better than what they're facing, and give them appropriate skills based on that.
Not sure O Group would be the one I would choose for it, but
I like the idea of the horde style system.
Do you know something? I'd just make your own.
Yeah,
I think you could come up with. I think you could base it on a system, and you could come up with a very straightforward battle bunker
for that scenario.
And his Rorke's Drift game. Have a look at his Rorke's Drift game, because that was AI controlled, where people took on control of the defenses of Rorke's Drift. So you could come up with a very, very easy, basically success system for dice, and then just come up with some AI control based on a normal deck of cards, where you just say, like, you would draw per. For the enemies, if they're in groups, you would say, right, each one draws a deck, and they do 1 move and shoot, or 1 move and shoot if they can, or 2 moves and they don't shoot, and you get that. I think you could come up with a very simple system, and why not find out if people are into it, put it out to the community, and get a group together and put something together. I think that would be fantastic. Get someone on terrain, someone on models. I think you're on something.
It's not a huge amount either, because it's obviously you've got the 9 SAS guys, and you've got the insurgents, the that you'd have to make up.
You-
But the terrain
You
side
could
of things is
rotate
like,
them if you wanted
Yeah.
to, so you wouldn't even
Yeah,
need to do too many figures.
you could do maybe 30, 40 of them. Get a nice
Here's
amount on the table.
here's a question for you, Ken. What scale?
Yeah.
Whatever I can get desert guys with SLRs in. Pretty much.
Yeah, because I mean, you could have it as a say 28 mil. It'd be like
Well,
you know,
I might have to go to 135 because that's the only way I can think of. I can't find any SLRs anywhere. Literally, can't find
Don't
any.
Gripping Beasts do something like that, don't they?
Yeah, they do. What's the name? They've got a range.
It's a
got
particular range, isn't it? Yeah, I can't remember
Yeah.
what it's called now, but they do something like that.
trying to think. There are quite a few companies that do sort of semi-modern, so that would have weapons at the time, like they say,
Modern
like that,
Forces figure pack.
Yeah.
There you go. Full clean. Yeah, there you go. African militants, mercenaries. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, I found them. We're good.
Actually, yeah. James has pointed out in the chat, but First Corps have just started coming out with some sort of Cold War
That's true.
era,
Yeah, they
era
have.
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
I
All right,
think you're
wicked.
onto something there.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
I think I've got some somewhere in here. Some from years and years ago, some sort of insurgency troops that I did. I can't even remember what it was for now, but I think they're 20 mil plastics, I think, from what I remember.
Spectre do insurgent stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll find some stuff. But yeah, it does sound quite interesting. I'm not, it's definitely there. 100%. I do like the sound of it. 100%. It sounds
Empress as well.
Yeah, Empress, that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, good shout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a bad show. Yeah, I'll look into it, definitely. Right, so that's me. Let's go to you, Dom. Have you got one?
So I did think hard about this because I thought, actually, what would I really want to do at the moment? And to be absolutely honest, the only ones I'd really want to do now is some ancient battles. Proper. It's funny. I was almost thinking this controversial. I think, actually, do I really want to ever do a refight of a battle? Because actually, I quite like just sort of a scenario-y type game. Sometimes refights can be just really dull, can they? Do you have anyone's find that?
Yeah, do you know what?
Really
I'm glad you said that because I wondered if it was just going to be me.
No.
Yeah, I mean, oh, I've just dropped a blade in my groin. There is.
No, I agree. I think there's. I would say, is there a battle that we want to game, or is there an era you want to game? Obviously, we talk about it all the time, but no, I think Dom hits the point. It's quite hard sometimes.
It's quite hard because I mean, there's some classic battles that you sort of want to redo in some way. The one that comes to mind for me, in some ways, from a period I play a lot, Napoleonics, is Quatre Bras. I've never played Quatre Bras as a game. I played it in board games, I played it in computer games. I've never actually played a figure game of it. And that's because every time I see a scenario for it, I think it's a load of cack because it just doesn't seem to work. That difficulty that the commanders actually had on the day to do it. And I know Martin's going to say, well, you can make it up yourself, and you could, but I'm too lazy for that. So I think that's one I'd like to do, a proper Quatre Bras. But I do, my first love has always been ancient battles. So some of the Alexandrian campaigns, but I have actually done a few of those over the years, but I'd like to have another go at them. But part of that would just be finding a decent rule set that I'd want to do. That would be that's the thing. But yeah, I find it really hard because I do. Yeah, I look at reenactment games and refight games, and I think sometimes it's just like yawn. I want it to be fun game, unless it mucks it around. It's like if you ever play Waterloo. You know, unless you handicap the French in some way, they should win it every time. But they didn't. So therefore, but most rule systems don't really allow them to to be handicapped in a way that is still fun for the French player, but also is, kind of, I don't know. And then it becomes, is it a historical refight? You know what I mean? So I struggle with it a bit. I do struggle with it a bit. So I don't know. I mean, I'm dodging the question because I really did struggle to think what would I actually want to do refight wise. I'm going to do Lutzen, 30 years war. But I'm going to do that, and I've got the rules, and I've almost got all the figures for that. So that will happen. But I don't know. Pass somebody else. I don't know yet.
I'm going to. Excuse me. I'm choking. Flock here.
I'm going to find a blade now.
Yeah, I'm not going to drop any blades in my groin.
Found it.
You didn't get that line in any of the Terminator films, did you? No, I'm with Dom. I've struggled. Refighting battles. It's not something that I've ever really. Well, we've played a couple of the campaigns, in the battles from the campaign books for Bolt Action, and that they were good. But that's part of a larger campaign, and no linked games, etc. I don't know. I said I really struggle. I mean, as I mentioned before we came on, seeing the two fat lardies in Holland this weekend and what they've been up to with Market Garden, that's inspiring. Would I do something like that myself? Probably not. I don't know. It was, and it's. When people refight actual battles? Is it to see if the outcome's the same? Is it to try and break it? Is it to break the tactics? Is it to, like Dom said about amending the French for Waterloo? Is it about adding friction that wasn't there to achieve a different result or a different outcome, or just a different back and forth in general between the two forces? I think that's what would interest me. So I wouldn't want to do a straight up. I
think he's absolutely right. That's exactly what I feel.
If I was to do it, it would be to try and get an outcome. And if I you put the time on to do a refight or battle and you get exactly the same result, I'd feel a bit cheated. Because all you've done there is just an historical refight. And what you get from that, I think I would rather see a different outcome than what actually happened historically. That for me would add something to it. It just wouldn't be fighting it for the sake of refighting. And again, I mean, of all the battles in history, I can't actually think of anything. I mean, it'd be interesting to. So the one that came to mind today was the Battle of Little Bighorn with Custer. Could you refight that in a way where there could be a different outcome? It's I don't know.
But then my question with that would be: would it then be a refight, or would it just be, because it wouldn't look anything like the real thing, so then it isn't a refight anymore, is it? No.
I mean, you could take the actual real battle as a starting point, and you say tweak the lists. It's certainly not one that I know Martin would probably get behind this. It wouldn't be something where you could use points. You'd need to actually, look at the OBATs and make sure they were sort of as close as possible, but then tweak them. So you're going to make one side strong and one side weak, like Dom said about the French at Waterloo. You're going to do some tweaking on that side to make it so they are they going to lose? They're going to win. It's interesting, but not something I've ever really thought about. Because we've done some of the campaign battles for Bolt Action, but having never played it, but having seen it being played many times, Chain of Command I think would lend itself to refighting a lot of historical engagements, and it wouldn't even have to be big massive games either. So I think, and if I was going to do something, I think I would honestly use Chain of Command as the rule set for any. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't try and shoehorn a battle into Chain of Command. It would obviously have to be appropriate. But that's the rule set I'd use if I was doing any sort of World War II refight.
Oh yeah. That's a good shout, man. To be fair, we're all coming to the same conclusion, aren't we? That we like the idea of doing a refight, but we want to do it on our own terms, don't we? We don't want to do it like for like, do we? We don't want to say the infantry advance left, so we're going to advance left. We want to put our own twist on it, don't we?
Well, it's about the game, isn't it? If you're, I don't know. It's like many years ago. So I put on Battle of Pacifist at Salute with a couple of mates, and we did it as a demo game. First of all, thousands of Indians and thousands of Macedonians, tons of chariots and elephants. After about 10 minutes, it was like, oh, this is really dull. So then we just turned it into anybody could join in and move a few units and roll a few dice, and it became a participation game and was a lot more fun that way.
I was going to say, yeah. I can imagine people would have a lot more fun just doing it the way it wasn't done originally. I think
exactly. And so you had weird things like elephants charging into something that you as a gamer wouldn't have done, but they did. And it was like, well, that's great. Made it really interesting. So, yeah, I don't know. It's about the game, isn't it?
100%. It's all about the game, isn't it? We're not in it to do the historical accurate refight, are we? At the end of the day.
What about using sort of what a cowboy to refight the gunfight at the OK Corral? I think that would be something like that. Break it down to a really small level. That'd be quite fun, actually.
Do you think that these things are refighting a game would be more fun, or refighting a real battle would be more fun at a sort of skirmish level? Yeah, sort of almost like Ken's talking about with his Alamo in the desert kind of thing. Because there was another similar battle, wasn't there? Was it a Sikh regiment holding out thousands and thousands of invaders, and that kind of thing would be kind of interesting. I don't know. Skirmish games strike me as much more that it wouldn't be a skirmish game, but those sort of games strike me more interesting in some ways.
I mean, rather than a battle, it could be an engagement, a meeting. I mean, a short, brief sort of encounter, rather than refighting a 100% historically accurate. That'd be my take on it. To make it different, to get a different outcome, to throw in curveballs to different different sides. It'd be quite interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Very cool though. I just love wargaming. There's just no other way around it, is there? It's one of them, isn't it? It's just so good. But Martin, what's your say on all this? Have you got a battle?
Right, I like doing refights when there's multiple people, and I like doing it on like gaming days and things. So I guess if I had to pick one, I would want to do one of the Tombe Drift from the Zulu War. Cool. It's a lesser known battle. Still doesn't go very well for the British, but it starts out, it would be an extended battlefield with a river in the middle of it. You've got half the British forces on one side, half the British forces on the other, and they're encamped, and then you've got Zulus sneaking up and launching this attack, and you'd have to factor in basically people waking up and trying to form firing lines. So I think with refights, we pick the games where a good refight has a good story to it. Because there are thousands of medieval battles where literally these armies just line up against each other. They form 3 battles and they just do this a lot until someone wins. and we pick and so because a lot of people would say to me, would you want to refight Towton? It's like, well, other than the spectacle of having that many people on the board, not really. This is a big fight in the snow. Whereas doing things like Barnet with the fog and the betrayal, and Tewkesbury with all the hedges and the or St Albans where it's street fighting, that would interest me more as a refight, more from the spectacle. So I would love to do a refight of the Battle of St Albans or the Second Battle of St Albans. As Dom said, there's some awesome stuff in the 30 Years' War. Again, a battle that I would have quite liked to have done, and we put it on when we were trying to design a scenario. Was oh god, I forgot it. What's the one? Was it Taunton, where the church gets blown up in the English Civil War? They had the powder magazine. Taunton. Taunton, someone will
Please
remember. You know, that's what I think is fun. Is it not fun? Is where you basically have the same. You have the historical forces. You have the same. If you like, you mitigate for the factors, the environmental factors that affected the battle, and then you see how you would go, and you have like the same crazy stuff, you know, that happens. So I quite like fighting. I like stories. I just like stories in those type of attempts and things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do, and I like that. And I think, you know, you set in, so you know, and you talk to someone who, you know, I love the Wars of the Roses, I love the 15th century, but some of the battles are very, very straightforward, run in the middle. They're over very, 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 very quickly. So you know, you have to, you know, sort of, you know, think, okay, this looks like it'd be a great deal of fun, but like Edgecote, you're like, oh, hang on a second, it's just, you know, a bunch of guys standing on a hill who chase the other ones because they have bows, and then it's over in seconds. You know,
but it's the lead up to those battles that's interesting, isn't it?
And that's what I like. Yeah. It's that. I mean, one of the ones, and me and Dom, we keep on talking about it, is Doraleum. You know, we keep talking about it because that is
going to have to do that.
A really interesting battle. It's a moving battle, you know, one force which is almost entirely cavalry based, and another force which you know, relies on, you know, its heavy formations, but has like a big core of civilians that they're trying to protect in the middle of it, which moves along with them. And you know, that I think would be a really interesting one. Then they set fire to the grass and everything, and yeah, that would be a really, really good game. But I think if I had to pick a game, if you just said a battle that I've been reading about recently that I'd like to try and go, would be Ntombe Drift in the Zulu War.
Interesting.
Yeah, sounds good. It does sound, you know, it's nice to have a bit of variety, to be fair. It's like I've gone for something quite modern. You've gone for Zulus. Dom, you weren't too sure. Napoleonics. There's a bit of everything, isn't there? So it's pretty cool. It's nice to have these conversations. Maybe I'm hoping in the chat now that, you know, people, you know, have heard some new stuff tonight and thought, oh, what's that all about? Going to do a bit of research and things like that. So
the beauty of anything you do, there are some really good comments actually, Ken, in the comments.
Yeah, I've just literally got them now.
But I think the beauty of gaming at the moment is there are so many options you could do.
There's so many.
You know, like you were saying about, you know, whatever that period, the battle that you wanted to fight. It's like there's dozens of places you could go and find, if not the right figure, very, very close to sort of figure, probably in multiple scales. So
exactly,
amazing.
It's nice to see people enjoying themselves. So not Ben. Having played Trafalgar game at CrackCon, I really enjoyed the refight and following the tactics that Nelson used. Oh.
Did Nelson just sail his boat straight at the enemy?
Yeah. I think you had to kick that one in. This is exactly your.
But, Ken, before we start going through the comments, should we do the news, mate? Because we've got quite a few, and then we can do them the other side of the news.
Fuck me! It's 9:30. Oh yeah. Jesus Christ! I didn't even realise what the time was. Wow, that went really quick, didn't it? Holy shit. Yeah. Cool.
We haven't played that for a couple of weeks. It still scares the bejesus out of me.
We need to change that. We need to change that. Ah, dear. Shall I crack on? You can finish that, Martin.
Yeah. Haha.
Go on then. So first up, I saw these silver bayonet. Just because I got rid of my stuff doesn't mean I'm not interested in that. It's really
David. That's another one. David donated all of the silver bayonet plus loads of starters. I'm lucky. I can't remember who won that now. But
no. But these look really good. So this is for the new supplement, which is Canada. So this is one of the new groups of Canadian forces for that. I do like the guy with the kilt.
Yes.
It's absolutely awesome. And the double-handed. What is that? It's a Scottish axe, isn't it? Basically, I can't remember what it's called
Yeah.
now. Locket or lockack?
A
big chopper. A big chopper.
big chopper.
Also, everybody needs crossbows.
Mhm.
So our friend at Reconquer,
Oh,
these are November, I think.
Yeah, these are now slightly later, so he's going sort of late 12th, 13th century kind of
Yeah.
stuff now. So I mean, they are very cool, and then I think that's my new ranger for Rangers of Shadow Deep in there. So
Is it really?
yeah, one of them will be. Yeah,
Pay attention to it, people, because it'll die very quickly in the next one. And that'll be the last time I'll ever use it, judging by his performance in the first game. Also, our friends the Perrys unveiled a whole load more Franco-Prussians. Now, I'm still itching to have a go at this. I just need to find some rules that I fancy playing with. So they've got
they're nice.
French infantry and then some other French infantry. I like them too. They look really cool. Command group and another command group. So yeah, really, really good. Those. I was talking to Matt.
Good for you though, Dom. Is it? That's not
What's
good
that?
for you. That's not good for you and your wallet.
No, because it is, mate. Because as I said, I just don't really know what I'd actually play, what period, what rule system I'd use for it. So until that's nailed down, I don't know.
Basically, someone needs to bring out a rule set, and you'd be
I'll be all over it like a rash.
Your initial costs will be covered because Dom will buy all your figures.
Exactly.
Isn't there going to be a Valor and Fortitude?
I believe so. I did hear they played
they,
it at Partisan, didn't they?
They did, yes. And they were talking about it in that interview with the Perrys and Jervis Johnson. Yeah.
That could
nice,
be
nice
could
figures.
Be appealing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that could work for your Triple Alliance as well, mate. Just saying.
Stop it! That almost happened again the other week.
So they also showed off some new Second World War vehicles from Blitzkrieg on their site. So
nice.
Some Avente is there, I think. Command ones, anyway. Oh, sorry. No, that's the M41 command tank. It says there, Dom. Read it, you fool. A Hetzer.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
The Hetz that Hetz.
You can't say no to Hetzer, can you?
Deacon 6-pounder. Jeez, that's an ugly looking thing, isn't it? There's a Sim Avente. I knew there was one somewhere. I hope that's probably a bit easier to see than the Warlord one to put together.
Oh, no.
And everyone needs some trucks, don't they? Bedford trucks.
Ooh,
they're nice.
Look good.
To be fair.
They do look really good, don't they? Like that.
Are they plastic or resin?
I think they are resin.
Yeah, resin.
I believe. Also, they're out. Well, actually, if you've got the War Games Illustrated mag, you'll know that the Covenanter force is now out as well. So for Epic, so they are pretty much exactly the same sprue, just with different heads.
Someone did say, "Why don't they chuck the rule book in one of them like they do in the other ones?" I did see that comment.
Yeah, it's odd because you can buy. I think you can buy a Covenanter army or a Montrose army as a sort of starter army. But as you say, there's no rule book in it, which is. But I guess it is only one army, so they're assuming that. I don't know what they're assuming, but who knows with Warlords sometimes. But they'll be fine. I got my sprue, and I'll paint it up for something for the 30-year war. Not quite sure what. I quite like the look of the cavalry because they can be sort of like cavalry.
There's Scots in the Swedish army.
There are. Yeah, there are quite a few actually. So the other thing I saw from the Epic, and this made my brain just explode because I thought, who would do this? Heads.
Oh yeah.
So they've done a whole selection of heads. So you've got Dutch Carabinier heads, Nassau flank companies, British bicorn hats, and then bear heads. So the idea is you cut off the heads of those minuscule little figures and then glue these on top.
Your chunky fingers will not be doing that, Dom.
It's just not going to happen, is it, mate? They're going to be stuck to my eyebrows, up my nose. They'll be in my eye.
But that's what they want you to do. You get 5 heads for £3. That's what they want the carpet monsters to eat.
Hell.
People will be like, "Excuse me, what regiment that? Oh, that's the regiment of Herman Monsters." All right, brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, unbelievable. But there you go. That's. I think that's everything I saw.
Okay. Well, I saw
stuff you saw.
Well, I saw these. So I think Dom, you commented about these as well. But Oathmark have released some Elf Cavalry, which I thought were really cool, especially if people want to do some sort of not Games Workshop Lord of the Rings stuff. And the cool thing is Little Big Men are supporting these with transfers and flags now. So for fantasy ranges, which I thought was really cool. I think it's about time as well. I think they've done a few. And I know our friend Ian, he does a whole bunch of totally not Tolkien flags and not the Seven Kingdoms. So I just thought they looked quite cool. I just quite like them. I don't know if Rangers of Shadow Deep calls for cavalry. I really hope it doesn't call for cavalry. Yeah, they were quite cool. Next up, Sarisa have got a trench system that they're releasing, and I think we previewed this before. But you've got a whole, which I thought was really nice. Obviously, that's essentially it's just going to be triangles of MDF, but I do like Sarisa stuff. I just don't know in my head if I could play a trench system that builds up. I just think I'd rather make get a foam board and then cut the trenches out. I don't know. Do you know? I always had that problem in other games with dugouts and bunkers, and I know that's just in my head, and that's just a thing. But obviously that means a custom.
That's an archaeological thing for you, isn't it, Martin?
No, I don't know. I don't know. That's just me.
For me, it's immersion trench. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I've never.
But I think they're cool, and I think they'll be good. And there seems to be more.
I personally couldn't be bothered. That's fantastic. I would have that on my table, no problem at all. Just digging into the building it. Just no. Yeah. But they look cool.
It does look cool. First Corps have got some Home Guard after hours.
I didn't see them. They're brilliant. I like them.
They're very, very cool. So yeah, I really like those. I think they would be really good if you were doing a reverse 0-200 and they were the Home Guard were drunk sentries walking around. I think they could be that could be some great fun. And then so this got passed on to me. So there is a old world annual rules thing on the Warhammer community page now for those people who are interested in it. If you want to go and look at the turn sequence and the movement phase, they're basically starting to detail the rules.
Coming soon.
It's not coming soon, Ken. They've highlighted the release of one army and they've got a whole nother one to highlight the release for and a rule book to write. It's not coming soon.
Sooner than 9th edition was. That's all I can say.
And about as many people will care. So no, I mean, fair enough. They did preview a lot of things. We talked about this in the last one at one of their Warhammer events, and so but if you're interested in that, go over to Warhammer Community and you can, there's a whole article on it that you can read. And then finally, apart from someone else, Test of Honor have released another model, quite a famous guy. I can't believe they hadn't done this sooner, and they've released a Musashi model.
Oh, nice.
The swordsman who wrote the Book of Five Rings, and he comes with a lot of skill cards. As you would expect in the game. In fact, I was looking at his stats and I would have to buy, I think, more dice to accommodate his combat pool. But it's a really nice model, and I will probably buy it. I did stock up on more Test of Honor stuff at Boards and Swords to go with my the stuff that I showed off the other week. So I think it'd be rude not to do that. But I want to know if James will accept that tactical rock, because he's actually using that tactical rock for something. And I know James has a thing about that, because he's jumping off of it, and I think he's actually got something with the pose. So I want to know how, because I know that James has a thing about tactical rocks. If he's in the chat,
Has anyone noticed how many Space Marine models are on Tactical Rocks?
One of these World War II models I'm doing is on a tactical rock.
Yeah, but they're not 8.5 feet tall super soldiers in power armor. Those rocks would get crushed.
Shh! Don't ruin the illusion.
I think you're overthinking it, Steve. I'm just saying. I don't know.
No.
But no, that's it. And yeah, so there's quite a lot out there. Now we have something else to announce. Now it obviously off the back of CrackCon, everyone's on a bit of a buzz, and we got talking and started looking at diaries, and then everyone's into it. So we just thought we'd book it.
Yeah.
So we have the date now. It was very nice of Ken to put up that post about names. We'd actually already selected it, but Ken
we didn't tell him
because to remember.
Yeah.
And also because again, Ken gets no actual say. So thank you for the lovely things. We're actually going to keep notice on those, but the name had already actually been selected for the next one. So if you are ready, the CrackCon 5. Now, can I get a drum roll now?
Drum roll.
Delicious.
No.
Yay!
19th of October.
Yay!
Darren Crack again. It's already been done.
Yeah.
So there you go. We've already checked. You can't book the Travel Lodge. Me and Dom have both tried.
We did. We tried.
We've
It's
been
not.
trying. It's not open yet. So 19th of October next year, we will be back. Now we're going to be doing things a little bit differently. For this one, we've got some ideas. In fact, should we just say now, Dom? We might.
Go for it.
So basically, we will put up a booking post for games as we do normally. However, what we would like you to do, if you have a game that you want to put on, it could be as simple as I just want to put on a 2v2 player game of sharp practice. Please, can you send us an email? Not a message, send us an email at theplasticcrackpodcast@gmail.com. What we're going to do is we're just going to compile a list and an idea of all the games that people want to play. We'll see what we have. And then what we will do is make sure that those people whose games essentially are selected, and to be fair, it'll probably be all of them, we'll make sure there are tickets, because there seemed to be a weird situation where people were hosting games and didn't actually have tickets, and then we had to make sure they had tickets. So we'll make sure those people have tickets, and then obviously we'll then do the big release. But the release of tickets won't be until next year, probably around about Easter time or something like that. So
we'll give you plenty of warning when the tickets are going up.
That's it. But if you have a game or you have a proposition for a game, there we go. Now there are some ideas for some big games already, Benjamin. So
it's already said in the chat.
There we go.
Only if you put it in the sensible measurements that we understand, Benjamin. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
What's that? 300 by 120? I have no idea.
That's it. But this is it. So please do send us an email if you are interested in running a game. We'll create a list, have a look at it. So for example, if we end up with 5 World War II games and 3 of them are Chain of Command, maybe we can get 2 people together to play a bigger game of Chain of Command, or vice versa, and we can put people in touch. We will then create the games list. We will then put the post up with the games already on there, maybe with a few open tables. James has already sent an email, apparently. Robin says he's going to do the Battle of Mirbat. And we will go from there. So early days, but we wanted to let you know. So there's your little teaser. There will be more info coming, we're looking forward to it. And also the game that Ken is now going to put on. So he will be looking for volunteers to help him paint it, make a rule system, and look after his baby.
Yeah, I'm going to bring the baby with me.
Oh God!
So you're not though, are you? That's the thing. You think you are, but you're not.
No, you're not.
I think I'll be allowed to take a child away.
No,
I don't think you should be allowed to be.
Definitely not.
Ken, would that mean double the amount of raffle tickets purchased?
Oh, it would. Got to get them started them young, haven't you?
And that's it. And that's it. And we will, of course, we will be selecting another charity to raise money for. But we've got a few ideas already, haven't we, Dom?
Charity.
Yeah, we have indeed.
And so we will be in touch, and of course, we will be looking for things for the raffle. So just keep an eye on those piles
Put
of
those things aside that you think might be useful, please.
Yeah, like, so if you have like a whole box of the Marvel starter thing or a whole box of Blood and Plunder that you don't want, then but no, there we go. So there we go. Dare and Crack again, 19th of October 2024, and we've already got some things organized, surprises for it as well, some new additions to the day, so we're very excited.
You can book the Friday night now at the Travel Lodge.
Yeah, you can.
Can't-
But you can only
just
do the Friday.
Well,
you
you can't book the Saturday.
So it's not very helpful, really.
Yeah.
Anyway, we would not advise you book your travel lodge until you've got
yet.
a ticket.
No, yes, that would definitely be the sensible thing to do. Right, okay, that is the news. Yeah. Oh, there was one more bit of news. Army Painter released a new paint set. This includes the 2.0s as well as their normal paints. It's like 300 paints or something stupid like that. A huge amount of paint, and you get 4 free brushes. Ooh.
Yeah, I saw. I think it may have been Benjamin commenting on that, saying that actually, is it any use to anybody? Because
No.
you end up getting so many paints that you don't use.
If someone put 300 new paints in front of me now,
You'd have an aneurysm.
I probably would. In 6 months' time, I probably would have opened
Uniform grey.
15, 20.
I forgot. We haven't ripped the piss out of him for getting a refund from the Travel Lodge. Because he forgot. I forgot. Thank you, Matt. Yes. So for those of you that couldn't make it, or those of you who are wondering, we were without hot water in the Travel Lodge for about half an hour.
Yeah, about
half an hour. And Ken complained, sent an email to their corporate email saying it's unhygienic. He's been a sweaty wargamer all day. He needs to shower. It's not on. Please, can I have a refund? And they said, "Oh, you have to talk to the manager in the morning." And he bloody did it, didn't he? And I got down in the morning, and there he was with his receipt for 70 refund for £78.99. You scumbag. I told Haley, and she was. I cut. So for all of you, you see, he did get breakfast, but no, he got his room for free because he couldn't use the shower at the exact. He didn't want to wait half an hour to have it. Did you even want a shower, or did you just know that the water had run out? No, you didn't. Did you?
I didn't even know the water had run out because I'd had a shower in the morning before I'd left. It was still hot.
The thing is, though, when we got back to CrackCon, a bit of a rest to go. I've had a shower, and it wasn't like blast your face off hot. It was tepid, but at no point did my brain go, I've got you now, refund city, population me. It wasn't.
No, I didn't. It went to the charity of my baby.
No.
Yeah, it did. I had to buy a thing on the way home.
He must have been the one the lady at reception was telling me about.
Oh,
it is.
Steph,
yes.
Message me, email me about things we were talking about at CrackCon. I need to send you some links to things. Yes.
Speaking of CrackCon, can I apologise to everyone that had to put up with me moaning about the state of my back the entire weekend?
You did mention it once or twice, mate. I have to say.
Oh my god, that walk back from the restaurant was like some kind of death march.
You poor old soul.
It was honestly, it's stuff. The thing is, though, as I mentioned, on the Friday night, we must have had a proper chill, like about an hour and a half talking about everything. I was stood up, and my back the next day was absolutely perfect. And then I don't know what happened, but it's the curse of being tall. It's just one of those things, and
it's probably the lack of hot water, mate. That was probably what
oh god, absolutely, yeah.
I would sue Travel Lodge if I were you.
Yeah,
he says this isn't even a joke. I'm even going to go off on a little tangent here for this story. I didn't sell a car, but I got my money back from my brother for a car. He bought a car off a forecourt, a Metro.
What?
He bought a Metro off a forecourt, right? 500 quid. Okay. this sweaty 20-year-old. My brother only just turned 17, passed his test. Sold my brother this Metro, got it home. Literally a day later, the clutch went gone completely. Went bang, pop thingy, right, undrivable. So I phoned him up, and because he sold it off a forecourt, he had to warrant 28 days of repair, even though he did a private sale. And I said, I'll call your boss and tell him you sold it off the forecourt. No, don't do that. So I went back and got my brother his 500 quid back. It's quite good. Consumer rights. But even what's better though, James Wilkinson, right, because of the hot water situation, had his better half of him, Philippa, and she was like, James, go and get a free breakfast because of the hot water. Ken's got a refund. He's like, I feel bad. I don't even want to go and ask for a coffee.
Jesus.
He went up and got his coffee, and he felt guilty then.
Hang on. Also, didn't you come a bit unstuck on the search for a free breakfast or a cheap breakfast, mate?
Oh, fucking hell, yeah. And then he missed crack on.
That was hilarious.
Oh yeah, because you were like, yeah, I'll put. Yeah, you filmed that.
He said, I'm not going to pay for it. I'm going to walk to somewhere.
Yeah.
No, you drove somewhere else, didn't you? And then
I drove to Tim Horton's. Yeah, that was
flooded out. That's hilarious.
Can I just say big ups to Matt for an Alan Partridge reference there.
Yes.
Very good.
They rebadged it, you fool. Sorry.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I forgot about that. And then you put that video up in the group where you're like, oh yeah, I'll film when we're inside, and then you didn't.
Yeah. Still wait until next year. Got too excited, didn't we? Too excited. Right. Ken doesn't pay for breakfast. Yeah, I did. I actually paid for breakfast 2 days in a row.
He also had to
the
walk,
travel lodge,
which is even funny.
No, I didn't walk. I drove.
Yeah, but you had to walk when you were walking back.
Because my car got stuck on the other side of a flood. Yeah, that was not great. Right, let's have a little look quickly. The curry is delicious, isn't it? Matt, right? The curry is delicious, isn't it? Yes. Oi, have you?
Yeah, that happened.
yeah.
We were all sat there, beer and curried up, and you were like, "Oh yeah, oh have you like heard the Battle of Mirbat?" And we were like, "What?
What the fuck is this?"
We're just there, meat sweats, just it was just awful.
If I ignore so Bricker C's put, if I ignore everything that Ken just said, I still think that would be an interesting battle to game. Yes, I think it would be a very interesting battle. Benjamin's put, referring to a historical battle is all about setting the success criteria for different armies. Winning the battle of Little Bighorn as custom might not need to be successful criteria. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Just as long as people have got a reasonable
so it's having an objective.
Achievement.
So trying to do better than Custer did or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is not difficult, really, is it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, being dead. It's not being dead. The bar's quite low when it comes to bettering his objective there.
James has put, he thinks the battle group rule books great value, crammed with lots of awesome history.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's loads of stuff in there, isn't there, Steve?
Really,
I've
really
got the Arnhem one, and there's loads of shit. It's really good.
I may or may not be putting in an order with AB for some British Airborne in the very near future. I've got a problem. Please, someone send help.
Yeah. It's a much more wholesome problem than your normal tuft-based problem, mate. That's all I'm saying.
Well, there is that.
And apparently. And they say Yorkshiremen are tight. I do think I've got an inner Yorkshireman in me. But there we go. So I have because we're coming towards the end. I've got pictures of this week's.
Is it Christmas?
Yeah. Yes. I may not have had them at the start of the stream.
Halloween.
But... yeah. Oh yeah. It's tomorrow, isn't it?
Tomorrow. It is.
Oh, November. Jesus. Right, so there is no particular order to this. I've got the.
It'll be alphabetical if you just loaded them.
I thought that, but they're not, which I don't understand, which is really weird because Nick's at the top, and Paul Richardson's at the bottom, which makes no sense. And in the middle, there's Dave. But there we go.
I had to say that but speaking of Paul, on the Friday night, me and Paul were the only people in the middle of Derby walking around in shorts. Just want to throw that one out there.
Do you know what? Oh yeah, we didn't even mention the Tiger Bar's gone.
Yeah,
No,
Tiger Bar is
Someone said it had reopened. So I don't know whether that's true or not, but we didn't find it. It was on the wrong side of the flivver anyway.
I, for one, wasn't gutted.
No, it was
Me
not.
neither.
But to be fair, I definitely preferred that shooter bar. That was awesome. Right, so Nick, they are 3D printed because why wouldn't they be? Royal Artillery look very, very nice.
Yes, he said this was the first 3D printed things he'd done,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
So I've got these exactly same files as well, and they are rather cheap, which is awesome because normally to get a set of 6 horses and a gun costs an arm and a bloody leg. So to print them, it is definitely well worth having a think about. And plus, you get the cannon as a separate file, so you do get a gun as well, which is very cool. Craig, moving on to next. I saw these.
Oh,
and I
nice.
got to have some of this 28mm action.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, very nice. These are plastics, aren't they?
Yeah.
Who makes these?
They're Warlord, aren't they?
Warlord.
Yeah.
They are the Warlord.
But they're very old
Yeah.
models. They're another.
Yeah.
They're not
They're
Warlord
They're
original.
they're Wargames Factory.
Wargames Factory. That's it. They are not the best models, but he's done a very good job with them because they're not easy to put together and look good.
They're multi-parts
honest.
today. They're
Yeah,
multi-parts.
they are.
Yeah, they come in. Hang on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
27?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think.
Yeah, they're
9 or 10 parts each, something like that. But he's done a lovely job with them.
Are their
well
feet
done.
attached? Are the feet attached to the correct place?
Yeah,
Are they-
at least that's
ankles.
something they've done correctly. Steve.
So Ian's made a board up. He's done some SS, and they're very nice.
Very good.
Yeah,
Ooh.
he's used them for a tournament. So this was his tournament board. I should have got.
I think it got cancelled.
Oh, you're joking.
No.
Oh, that's shit. But that board's really nice, and I just liked the signpost, Khan, Garantan. So they've been very nice indeed. But beautiful models. The weathering on the truck's really nice as well. Really, really cool.
Yeah.
And if you notice, you seen what he's done with the glass. Little extra detail there. He's frosted it a little bit. It looks quite smart. So Tut, getting onto some Napoleonics.
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Lovely.
You know what
basing.
this makes me even more painful thinking about it. He's got 3. He does 9 of frontage.
That's what I do. That's nothing. Because it's the same.
Yeah, I do 8 though. I do 8, don't I? Not. Hang
No,
on,
you do 6. I
do 6. Yeah, I do 2 lots of 6. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but it's the same. The frontage is the same. Or it doesn't matter because
no, but he's got to paint. Yeah, it just paints more models, more cavalry to paint.
Well, no, it doesn't because you do 2 ranks of 6, don't you? Whereas we do 1 unit of 9. Because those to me that's 2 units.
Oh, right. I see. Yeah, that's 2. I was classing it as 1. I think it is actually 1 unit.
Yeah, well, you can do it as 1, or you can have it as 2. That can be a large unit or a standard unit, or 2 standard units.
It's very nice though. I like the yellow.
It does look very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Lovely.
So Lewis, he's done some Space Marines. Why wouldn't you? I think these are world eaters.
Nice.
They are.
They're world eaters. Yeah.
Yeah, Khan. Yeah. Oh, they do look good, don't they? That dreadnought as well at the back. Tactical rocks. They're so good. To be fair, I like the Terminators that they're kind of like going through that transition, aren't they? From going from start of the heresy. What are we laughing at?
I have visions of. Very inappropriate thought there. Don't worry. Move on.
Oh,
Carol! It's Carol Vorden.
Carol's misbehaving. Sorry.
Oh, naughty Carol.
Inner Carol out. Sorry.
But yeah, no, they're very nice. I like the bases as well. They look like either 3D printed bases because there's skulls on those as well.
Skulls? Never.
Skulls for the skull throne. They're mine. Don't worry about that. Dave.
Oh, nice.
These were looking.
Ooh, I like
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Got some
very
contrast
good.
paints going on, I think, or some army paint stuff. Yeah, very nice.
Definitely speed paints of some sort, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're cool. You know, get them base, get them ready, get them gone. So you do it, innit?
Is that your mantra? Get base, get ready, get them gone on eBay.
So Dan's done some of these. I looked at these and I thought, geez, there's a drum. Look at that drummer, Steve.
Lovely. Look at it.
Do you know what? I even said to Dan. I mean, I've been watching Dan's painting for years on YouTube. Dan's painted the best Bretonians I think I've ever seen. But I just said to him that they're inspirational. They're just absolutely fantastic. And I actually own that box, that AWI box by Warlord, and I couldn't get mine to even resemble anything like that.
Yeah,
but just nice. Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Wish I could paint like that. Those are tactical styles, not tactical rocks. Next level up. Borrows and badgers.
Oh my lordy, they're good.
Oh, nice.
And this is Ross. So I really like how he's done like the retinues kind of matching with the guys with the short swords and the shields, the hair, and it's a dog, isn't it, or a wolf? Very nice. I actually, do you know what? I lost my figures of these. I was so fucked off for about 2 weeks. I was so angry. I was like, I've got rid of them. I know I've got rid of them. I couldn't find them anywhere. I took all the box out and everything, and then all of a sudden they just popped out of nowhere yesterday. I'm like, oh, I can paint them now. Happy days. So yeah, I'm gonna start painting mine. Really annoyed. Justin, he's done a sharp.
Oh
Very
yes,
nice.
Nice.
Very cool. That's the Wargames Atlantic one, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So Phil, he's done some paras. Second World War.
Oh, these are the Empress ones.
Yeah, I love that helmet.
Yeah.
That helmet in the middle is brilliant.
I just thought he's absolutely nailed them, spot on. Absolutely fantastic work, Phil. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people base their guys like that. I can't work out if that's a 2P or is it an MDF base. That's
MDF. I think that's an MDF round base.
Yeah. I see a lot of World War II stuff based like that. Alid, he's done some Russians. He's got his commissar there out the front, or his officer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, very nice. Well
Good
done,
stuff.
Alid. Get some World War II action. It's been quite a bit of a mix this week. Not as much weird shit. A lot more historical.
Yeah.
But Paul, I say weird shit.
These are
really cool. I love the guy with the chainsaw. That's awesome.
Weird shit doesn't even do that justification. That's brilliant.
No, that there is maybe a whatchamacallit, Steve. The game. It's got
Space Weirdos.
Space Weirdos, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Then with Space Weirdos, you can use anything.
Mask.
You could, and that's an ice hockey mask.
Ice hockey, yeah.
Well, no, on the left.
Oh, that might be.
Has he just been garroted?
I think
He's got a gimp mask on.
No, you just like your voice just disappeared.
Oh, that's fucking brilliant. I wonder where he got them from. That's cracked me right up. Yeah, very nice job. I'm gonna end it on something a bit normal, okay? Napoleonics. So this is Christopher. These are fucking incredible.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I was like, I've got to end it on these this week. Some beautiful French hussars there. Jesus Christ, look at that. Just a guy with the flag, man. I was just like looking at his face. I was just like, why can't I paint like this? It makes me so sad.
Lovely job.
Yeah, man. It's some really good stuff this last couple of weeks. Really nice stuff. So,
hang on, there's a bit of breaking news coming in. Hang on, here we go.
Battle of Mirbat miniatures just arrived on eBay 2 weeks.
Decided lost interest in project.
Ah, dear.
They know you so well.
Oh, they do, don't they? Bastards. My 3D print.
Oh God, the microphone kind of works when you talk into it, mate. Just saying.
Sorry, no, my 3D print's done. I'm printing out walls for Napoleonic game.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, right. So where are we next week, gentlemen?
We
It
are
is
with
me,
Dom.
I think.
Yeah,
And
Dom.
we should have a guest, but I'll confirm that when he's confirmed with us. But yeah,
I'll get the menu. I know we didn't do a menu this week because we were too obsessed with CrackCon, but we will get the menu up. And then we only have 8 shows left till Christmas.
Oh God,
So
alive! That's depressing.
we haven't got a Christmas challenge this year, have we? So we'll have a little think. What you think we could do.
Here's one. Let's all stay at a hotel and pay for
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
that's not possible, is it?
That's
Well-
a challenge. That's a challenge.
I might have to. Yeah, but to be fair though, my Samsung thing was making that noise.
Oh
first.
no, mate!
Oh.
You're fucked when your kid is born. You are. Sorry for that, but oh no! My Samsung, my air conditioning unit was making a gurgling sound. You have no idea, and I can't wait. I can't wait.
Unbelievable.
On that bombshell, it's time to end another great show. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will push the outro this time, like I forgot to do the intro. So we'll see you next week over on Dom's channel. Bye.
Have a good week.
See ya, everybody.
Bye
Take care.
bye.